Picture the deep layers of your midsection as a biological savings account, one that has been collecting deposits for years, tucked away where you cannot see it, wrapped around organs you rarely think about. Now picture what would happen if you stopped eating and forced your body to start making withdrawals from that account. What scientists have documented during this process is more surprising than you might expect. Your body does not simply melt fat away in a straight line. It fights, it adapts, and it reveals survival intelligence that most people will go their entire lives without ever witnessing. Let's start at the beginning. Within the first 24 hours of your fast, your digestive system goes eerily quiet. Your stomach, so used to receiving food on a schedule, keeps churning out acid anyway. That gnawing, empty sensation you feel is not starvation. It is habit. Your gut is essentially knocking on a door that nobody is going to answer. But while your stomach complains, your liver gets to work. It begins cracking open its reserves of glycogen, a stored form of sugar, and converting it into glucose to keep your blood sugar stable. Think of glycogen as your body's checking account. It is easy to access, but runs out fast. Most people burn through their entire glycogen supply within 18 to 36 hours. Here is where the first domino falls. As glycogen disappears, your pancreas slashes insulin production. Insulin is the hormone that tells your fat cells to hold on to everything they have. When insulin drops, your fat cells finally get permission to start opening up. But not all fat responds the same way. And this is the part that catches most people off guard. The fat sitting just beneath your skin, the kind you can pinch, starts releasing energy relatively quickly. Visceral fat, the deep stuff packed around your liver, kidneys, and intestines, does something different. It resists. Studies have shown that visceral fat cells activate protective mechanisms during early fasting, essentially locking their doors and refusing to cooperate. This is not a malfunction. It is ancient programming. Your body treats visceral fat like a strategic military reserve, something to be preserved for the most desperate circumstances. And research suggests that the more often you fast, the better visceral fat gets at defending itself during these initial stages. Now let's move to day 3. This is when your metabolism crosses a major threshold. With glycogen long gone and insulin sitting at rock bottom levels, your liver shifts into a completely different mode of operation. It starts producing molecules called ketone bodies by breaking down fatty acids. These ketones are remarkable. They can cross the barrier between your blood and your brain, something most fuel sources cannot do. And they begin powering your neurons directly. Your brain normally burns through roughly 1/5 of all the energy you consume in a day. During extended fasting, it learns to run almost entirely on ketones instead of glucose. And the difference is noticeable. Many people describe a strange sharpness of thought around day 3, a mental clarity that feels almost unnatural. That is not placebo. Your brain is receiving a steadier, cleaner energy supply than the roller coaster of sugar spikes and crashes it normally deals with. But the real transformation kicks in at 72 hours. Your cells activate a process called autophagy, which translates to self-eating. Before that sounds alarming, understand what is actually happening. Your cells begin identifying damaged proteins, broken down organelles, and accumulated waste, and they systematically dismantle all of it. The raw materials get recycled into new, functional components. It is the biological equivalent of gutting a house down to the studs and rebuilding with better materials. Researchers who won the Nobel Prize for discovering this process found that autophagy is one of the body's most powerful mechanisms for cellular renewal. And then something else happens that surprises even scientists who study this for a living. Your pituitary gland floods your system with human growth hormone. Levels can spike to 4 or 5 times their normal baseline. This hormone does 2 critical things simultaneously. It shields your muscles from being broken down for fuel, and it accelerates the rate at which your body pulls energy from fat stores. Your body is not randomly burning through whatever it can find. It is making calculated decisions about what to protect and what to sacrifice. Millions of years of evolution built this system, and it is remarkably precise. By day 7, assuming you have maintained proper hydration and kept your electrolytes balanced, your entire physiology settles into a new rhythm. Your resting metabolic rate dips slightly as your body learns to do more with less. This is not your metabolism crashing, it is your metabolism becoming more efficient, like a car that suddenly gets better gas mileage on the highway. Your heart begins beating with improved variability, a sign of cardiovascular fitness. Blood pressure tends to drop as chronic inflammation recedes. Your blood vessels, no longer dealing with the constant inflammatory load of digesting and processing food every few hours, begin to relax and repair. And here is the twist in the story. That visceral fat, the same fat that locked its doors during the first few days, finally starts contributing. It begins releasing fatty acids into your bloodstream to be burned for energy. But researchers noticed something fascinating. Even as visceral fat shrinks, the remaining fat cells become better at storing energy for the future. Your fat tissue is learning from the experience, essentially upgrading its efficiency so it can refill faster if food becomes available again. This is your body hedging its bets, preparing for a future it cannot predict. Meanwhile, deep inside your intestines, your gut microbiome is undergoing its own revolution. Without food passing through, bacterial populations shift dramatically. Diversity tends to increase, and beneficial species that thrive during fasting begin to dominate. Your intestinal lining, freed from the constant work of digestion, uses this downtime to patch itself up. Gaps between cells tighten, inflammation drops. The entire system resets in ways that ripple outward through your immune function and overall health. By day 10, your body enters what researchers describe as a state of metabolic mastery. Every system has fully adapted. Your liver produces ketones with mechanical precision. Your fat cells, including these stubborn visceral ones, release energy more willingly now, as if they have finally accepted the terms of this negotiation. Your brain is not just surviving on this alternative fuel. It is building new connections. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein essential for neural growth, remains elevated throughout extended fasting. This supports the formation of entirely new pathways in your brain, which is why so many people report moments of unusual insight and creativity during prolonged fasts. Your muscles, despite what popular fear would have you believe, remain largely intact. The sustained elevation of growth hormone continues acting as a biological bodyguard, redirecting your body's energy demands toward fat stores rather than lean tissue. Your cardiovascular system keeps refining itself. Inflammatory markers that drive heart disease and arterial damage continue falling. Your blood vessels become more responsive, more elastic, more capable of adapting to changes in demand. Around day 14, if fasting has been maintained with proper supervision, hydration, and electrolyte management, your body reaches a state of deep metabolic equilibrium. Energy expenditure stabilizes, fat continues to be the dominant fuel source, and every cell in your body carries the memory of this entire adaptation, becoming more metabolically flexible, more resilient, and more efficient than it was before. What looks like deprivation from the outside is one of the most sophisticated biological orchestrations your body is capable of performing. From the stubborn resistance of visceral fat in the early hours, to the elegant hormonal choreography that protects your muscles and feeds your brain. Every stage of this process reflects intelligence refined over millions of years of human survival. Your body already knows how to do all of this. It has been waiting for the signal. If content like this helps you understand what is really happening beneath the surface, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. We break down the science your body already knows, but nobody ever explained to you.